Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very fun macrame tutorial to share with you for this lovely hat holder. Now I already had another pattern on my channel for a single hat hanger that is very similar but slightly different than this pattern. There were just a few things I kind of wanted to change about it a little bit that I kind of wished I would have done differently. So for this pattern I did them a little differently and I'm really happy with how it turned out. But I do have cord lengths for you. All of these cord lengths will be listed down in the description underneath this video. And I'm also going to be making a blog post with the written version of this pattern that'll be on my website. And I'll link to that down there below as well. So for this hat hanger, I am using 5mm single strand cotton string, which is what I will recommend that you use as well. And I'll put a link down in the description to where I got my string, which is Naroma Studio. I'm a big fan of their 5mm single strand cotton. So I'll put a link down in the description of this video to that. You're gonna need 6 pieces that are 217 inches long each. And I don't know off the top of my head how many centimeters that is. I will put that down in the description, or you could just go on Google and type what is 217 inches to centimeters, which is exactly what I'm going to go to before I write it in the description. So that's all you need to get started with this. So let's get started. Okay, step 1, we're going to just attach our cords to our wooden ring with a lark's head knot. So I've already done these 5, and now I'm going to attach my last one so I can show you what I'm doing. I have my cord folded in half evenly, and I'm just going to thread it through the wooden ring and then bring the ends through that loop. And just pull them all the way through and then tighten it up. All right, now I'm just hanging it on my macrame rack. First thing we're gonna do is a row of double half hitch knots going this way and this way. So we're gonna make the top of our first diamond. To do that, I like to take the 2 center cords and we're gonna start by doing the left side. So cross the right one over the left one, and then we're gonna tie a double half hitch knot. And if you don't know how to tie this knot, I do have a tutorial showing exactly how to do it. It can be a little tricky sometimes for beginners. There's the first half. And there we go. That's our first one. There is the left side done. Now I'm going to do the ones going down to the right. So I'm going to take this first working cord right here and use that as my filler cord for this row of double half hitch knots. All right, there we go. We got our first top part of our diamond done. Now for the next row, we're gonna do a row of reverse double half hitch knots, and the easiest way I like to, you can actually tie them in reverse, which is one option. I'm just gonna turn it around and tie them on the other side, and that way it'll be the reverse. See, this is what the backs of them look like. So that's what this row will look like here. So again, we're gonna start with our 2 center cords. Make sure if your cord's untwisting on you, just twist it up, and we're gonna go down into the left again, and we're gonna just tie, we're gonna skip this last cord. We're gonna just tie these 5 here. All right, let's take a look at the other side. Looks good. We're gonna do the same thing over on this side. Start with the first working cord that we used for our first knot of this row. That'll be our filler cord for this row, and you're just gonna be tying 4 going down and to the right and skipping that last cord. All right, there we go. Now we're gonna flip it back around. And now we have our row of reverse double half hitch knots. Now we're gonna do one last row of double half hitch knots on this side, going to the right and left, and then we'll be closing up our diamond. So start again with the middle 2, and go down and to the left, and twist up your cord as you go, so it doesn't get all messy and weird looking. And we're skipping the last 2 cords again. There we go. So we did 4 going down this way, and now we're just gonna do 3 going down this way. So find that first working cord from this row, and we're gonna use that as our filler cord, and tie 3 double half hitch knots going down and to the right. There's the top of the diamond. Before we get on to the bottom half of the diamond, I want to tie one more double half hitch knot going on this side and on this side, just to kind of fill in this section, because if we don't, when we make the bottoms come together, there's going to be a gap here. I am going to use this as the filler cord and then this as my working cord, this cord here, and tie one double half hitch knot going down into the right over here. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, except in the other direction. So grab the second cord to the left and tie one double half hitch knot going down into the left. And okay, so now we're going to move back to the center diamond, and before we do this, we're going to thread a bead on here, which is optional. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I'm going to. So I'm going to use these two center cords to hold my bead, which I have right here, and I have a large hole wooden bead, so it's really easy to thread on. If you have a smaller one, you might need a threader or something, or to tape your ends of your rope, but I'm just gonna do my best to shove them through here. I like to just wad them up and then twist, and usually it will come through like that. There we go. And then just slide that up into place, right in the middle. And then we're gonna finish our diamond. So I'm gonna start on the left side here and make 3 double half hitch knots going down into the right. And now we're going to grab our right filler cord and tie 4 double half hitch knots going down into the left, and the last one will connect the two sides. All right, there we go. I got the middle done. Now we have to flip it back over and do the next row. All right, so we're not using these outer cords here. We're just using these ones, the second cords in. So we're going to do 4 going down into the right, and then 5 going down into the left, which will close up the diamond. All right, now we're going to do the other side. There we go. Now I just gotta flip it back around. All right, and then the last thing we gotta do is the bottom of this diamond, or at least the last thing for this diamond. And the first, okay, we did 2 double half hitch knots here basically with that last cord. So we're gonna do the same thing here to keep it even. So to start, we're gonna tie 1 double half hitch knot. Make sure you push it up there and then tie the other half. And then we're going to do it again, the same cord. There we go. And then we're going to continue tying our knots. We're going to do 4 more right here. All right, there's that side. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. So again, we're going to tie 2 double half hitch knots with this first one. And the first one you want to slide up all the way to meet that other knot. Okay, and then we're going to do our last 5 going down. All right, there's the first diamond. So now we're gonna do our first hat hanger part of our hat hanger. Okay, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna separate the cords so we have 6 on each side. And I'm gonna start on one side, so I'm starting over here on the right. And I'm gonna take the 2 outer cords of these 6 and tie 2 square knots right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing over here just so I get them lined up. And then for the part that goes on either side of the hat, we're going to do some switch knots. So for that, we're going to find the inner 2 cords and we're going to bring them out and around like this. And then we're going to tie another square knot about maybe like 1.5 inches, 2 inches down. And we're gonna do 4 more switch knots going down this one on this side here. So again, I have my middle 2 cords, I'm bringing them to the outside, and I'm using those to tie my square knot. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So find those 2 center cords, bring them to the outside, and tie your square knot. And then look and make sure everything is the same, which I think it is. And then just continue for 3 more knots. All right, and make sure everything looks even, and I'm pretty sure it's good. Then we are gonna scoot down. Now we're gonna come down and do 2 square knots. We're gonna switch our cords again just to kind of keep that look going. And then just tie 2 square knots down here. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. All right, there we go. Okay, so here we're going to tie another diamond, and I'm going to do it just like I did the first one. So I'm not going to show you the whole thing because I just showed you the whole thing a minute ago, but I will show you how I'm going to start it, and then you're just going to repeat the exact same diamond that we did at the beginning. So just rewind the video and go back to that one if you need a refresher. I'm going to start by tying the knots going down and to the left. And once you get the first knot established, it's not too bad. You want to get that one kind of in place. Make sure it's centered and everything. So that looks pretty good. And I think that's about right. Let me pull that down a little. You just want there to be like the same amount of space on either side, like here and here. And then I'm going to go ahead and tie the rest of my double half hitch knots for this top part. There's that side, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, going down into the right. So that's where we are at this point. Now you're just gonna go ahead and totally repeat exactly what we did for the first diamond, but we're just going to be doing the exact same thing. So we've already done this part. Now you're going to flip it to the back side, do the next row for this part, flip it back around to the front, and do this part of the diamond. Then don't forget to add that extra double half hitch knot on each outer side. Put on your bead, do this row, flip it over and do this row, and then flip it back over and do the last row. And then I will meet you back here once that is done, and we'll do the next hat hole, which is also going to be the same as this, but I'll show you how you move on to that part in just a minute. So go ahead and finish your diamond, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, I just finished this diamond. All right, so I just finished my second diamond. So now what we have here is the top one, the hat holder in the middle, and the second one right here. And the next step is, again, the same exact thing that we did before with our straps. So you're gonna just take the 6 cords on the right and the 6 cords on the left, and you're gonna do your 2 square knots here, same over here, and then do the same thing with switch knots going all the way down. And you're just gonna do it exactly like we did the other side. So I'll go ahead and do the first 2 square knots. And then you're gonna go ahead and do the switch knots. So I'm gonna start over here, take your inner cords, bring them to the outside, and then just tie a square knot. And you wanna leave that same amount of space, so it's maybe like 1.5 inches. And then you're just gonna repeat that going down, exactly like we did with the first time we did this. So same thing on both sides, going all the way down, and then I'll meet you back here. So the last step is just to do one more diamond here at the bottom, and that will make you a 2 hat hanger. If you wanted to make a 3 hat hanger, you would need to make your cords longer, and I will put what I think will be the right length in the description if you want to do another hat holder section. But I'm just going to finish this off here with one more diamond, exactly like the other 2. So nothing new, just exactly the same thing. And then I will meet you after I complete that to show you how we're going to finish off the fringe and all of that. So just go ahead and do one more diamond here. Unless you're doing a 3 hat hanger, then go ahead and do one more section with the whole hat hanger part and all that. And then we will do the fringe. So our last step is just to cut our fringe. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. And I'm just gonna do it kind of mirroring the bottom of this diamond here. And you can make it as long as you want. And then this side over here. And then if you want to brush it out, you can. I'm just going to kind of brush it a little here on the ends for now. And once you get it brushed out, you'll probably want to trim it some more. This usually gets all shaggy and disheveled looking. And I'm just going to go ahead and brush this and trim it probably 1,000 more times. And then I will show you the finished hat hanger. enjoyed this pattern and you made your own beautiful double macrame hat hanger, please take a moment to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And then I'd love it if you'd leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about this pattern, if you made one yourself, and how it went. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.